Hi, this is Laura with Potpourri of Life. This morning, what I want to talk to you about is how to make turmeric supplements. And you don't have to make them, but it's just one of those supplements that can be very helpful to many of us who deal with chronic inflammatory pain. I make my own because I've been dealing with pain for a long time. But to buy supplements, I know you'll hear this a lot from me. There's a lot of additives that they put in our supplements. If you don't believe me, just read the bottle. And if it says proprietary blend, that means they have stuff in there that they won't tell you. And part of that being a proprietary blend is so that nobody else copies their formula. But they should have the main ingredients, which should be curcumin. I think that's how you say it. But that compound, curcumin compound, comes from turmeric. So what I do is I make my own, and I've been doing this for years, and it makes a difference. And the days that I don't take it, like I'm too lazy I'm tired, or whatever the case may be, I don't want to make the supplements, and so then I might have a bad time. And that happened a lot over the last couple of years. It's like, oh, I just don't want to make my supplements. Because making supplements is time consuming, but I find it worth it. And so I've even had my husband help me once, and he says, man, this is just so time consuming. And he says, I wouldn't do this if you weren't here. And he's right. There's a lot of people that would not do this. So my recommendation would be is to look for the curcumin in it. It'll call it a curcumin supplement, or it'll say it's turmeric, but make sure it has pepper in it, black pepper, because it's the piperine. I think that's the piperine in that actually allows the turmeric to absorb into your bloodstream. If you just take turmeric alone, it's not going to relieve your pain. And I know this because I was taking it when I had a lot of hip and knee pain. And every year I would go in, see my orthopedic doctor, and he would say, 10 years we'll do surgery, because it was arthritis building up. Arthritis is an inflammatory disease. So to combat that is just exercise, and I was just taking turmeric. And then I did a little bit more research, and I added in the black pepper, and I do so much better. So, and I haven't seen him, I don't know how many years, and I won't mention his last name for his own privacy. And even my Lyme disease doctor, this is something he said, both of them said this would help with your pain. And so both of them, their last name starts with a D, so both Dr. D's, your support in my taking these type things. My Lyme disease doctor was supportive of me making my own. And my orthopedic doctor, he doesn't care how I get it, he just feels that this would benefit. And both of them are very much into people doing things naturally. If you can avoid surgery, the best thing to do is eat well, exercise, and take necessary herbs or supplements that will help benefit your health. So I give credit to them for supporting me on my journey. And the journey I'm talking about is my health journey, because a lot of these pain things were happening before we discovered I had Lyme disease, and for a good couple years. And I wasn't diagnosed until 2014. So it's a chronic, persistent Lyme. So I am always on top of my supplements, and I make all of them. But today, I'm running low. There's only a few in here, and I take 2 a day. My husband I take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. When I do that, I don't wake up with pain, and I've been kind of like holding off because I've been running out, and I've been busy out in the garden, so I'll call it that I'm prioritizing what I do with my time, aka I was just too tired or lazy not to get to them. But it's like now I'm getting ready for my next week's worth of supplements, and it's like I got to get these made because I depend on these. And I have found that my husband complains less about pain if he takes it twice a day. So I'm not his mother, I'm his wife. I make recommendations and he can choose whatever avenue he wants. Same thing with me, same with you. So what I do is I'm going to show you this. I have a jar of turmeric and I buy it in bulk because that's me. I'm actually going to move this camera so that you can see me on how I make the supplements. I'll go slow so it doesn't get you dizzy. It still might have made you dizzy. So what I'm going to do, you're not going to see my face. Okay, so this is my turmeric. I'm hoping, let me change a light so that I can get it better. Okay, so this is my turmeric. And I'm still getting light issues. My chickens are going to think I just turned the world off. Okay, so I have my turmeric that I purchase in bulk and I put it in a large jar. In addition, I have black pepper. And I try to get the pure ground. This is Pimenta Negra. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, so please forgive me. But that's what I use for this. You can get this, you can get it at a variety of stores, and you can buy it online in bulk too, which will be my next purchase. And then what I do, and I may end up having to make some with you today. I'm not sure if this will fill the 100 capsules that I'm doing, but this here is I put in my turmeric and I put in my pepper, I shake it up, and I doubt, because it's hard to see, there's little specks of black pepper in here. And when I do this, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to bend down so you don't get that glare. So when I do this, I like to see the black specks of the pepper in it. And then when I sniff it, I get a strong scent of the turmeric, but I also get that scent of pepper. When I make the mixture, and sometimes when I make the capsules, I'll start sneezing. So that's not any viral overload. That's just how my body responds to pepper. So if I over season food with pepper, I start sneezing. So if I do, don't think I'm sick. I'm not. I'm getting healthy by taking this, and I'm working on my inflammatory issues. And because I have inflammation right now, I think it's called tennis elbow, and it's killing me. But I work it every day. That helps with some inflammation. I just have to do some other stuff with my elbow. But it's helping with my hips, it's helping with my knees, and as much as I love my orthopedic doctor, I am so grateful that I don't have to see him all the time. And I know for certain he would rather only see those that absolutely need the surgery, or to just check in for things that might be causing other issues. I don't really want to go in to see him for this, but I'm going to try some other things before I give them a call. But for now, I'm going to make some supplements. I want you to watch if you're interested. So first you got to make the mixture. And I would put in about a half a cup or more, or a cup, because I make it so much. And then I would start putting tablespoon after tablespoon in it. So I would say probably 2 large tablespoons of pepper in with the turmeric. And that's where I get it. So it's not an exact science. All I know is that this is working for us. So for those of you that like to get your supplements, because it's all done in this wonderful factory, which should be sterile and all that. We know that that's not always the case, but they try. I'm sure they try. But I make it myself because I am in control. I'm in control of what's going on. So I have, and I'm going to wash my hands so I can get started here. Hold on. And that is one thing, when you're making your supplements, make sure your hands are clean. Just because I make it for myself, I also make it for my husband. And I've also made this, I've also shared a few with other people. More so the family, but I have shared it with other people who were complaining horribly about some pain that they were dealing with. And but I do that rarely because they really need to think through what they want. But hey, when they don't believe that this will help them, that's the avenue I go. So make sure all your equipment is clean, make sure your hands are clean. And the reason, the other thing is your equipment needs to be dry. After you wash everything, make sure it's dry, because the capsules you put in here could get wet. And so, well, they will get wet. And then they make it sticky, and then you can't put the capsules together. It just makes a kind of a annoying situation. And that can still happen even with them dry. My equipment is all clean. So I'm going to start showing you. All right, so what we have here is I have this device that I put my capsules in. I've already started doing it to save some time. And I just start putting my larger side into this. I have that. It does come with this doohickey, which what it is you take your capsules apart and you put it in there and you shake it there, and then you put that thing on to this one, you shake it, the tops in. And you know what? The way I do it takes just as much time and less aggravating. So that's my way of doing it. Oh no! I just dropped a few of my props right into the sink. So I have to get some more. But you know what? That's not the end of the world, because I have other capsules to go. That just means I've lost one from what I see. Alright, so let me get these in here. And I think it's just a few more. These are hard to see sometimes, so and I'm going to get going here. I'll put the extra one in here. Alright, so what I do, I'm going to bring these over, bring this down. Hopefully you'll be able to see better. So I have these capsules. I buy these in bulk. And what I do is I take them apart. There's a large part and there's a small piece. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to make it so you can. But you'll see that the head piece is smaller. And you just start filling in your holes. Like I've done most of this. So I just go along. To me, if I've got to tear these apart, tear them apart, pull them apart in order to use them, I might as well just put them in here, and then I don't have to do all that shaking. That is a personal choice. So this is going to take a little bit of time. Let me see if there's some other things that I can share with you. I know, really boring. But it's not. That's why my husband doesn't like to help anymore. And the other thing, because of how this works, when the turmeric and the piperine break down and dissolves fat and oil solubles. So it is best to consume these like at mealtime. If you're having a dish that has a lot of fatty oils and stuff like that. So that is the best time. Since I don't generally wake up and eat breakfast, and I might have either a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, I will take these around 10 o'clock, but I still might not eat until about 11. Between 11 and 1 is when I eat. And then I just have a light dinner or a light snack before bed, because I'm up pretty early. But if I'm hungry, I eat. So those of you who think I'm starving myself, I'm not. I eat when I'm hungry. So if you want to take this and you want it to be the most effective, and you know, like salad dressings, just because you eat well doesn't mean you're not eating fatty products. I eat avocados in a lot of salads. I might even have avocados on the side, so this would help there too. Okay, we are done filling this tray. And so what I'm going to do is this is my mixture, as I shared with you. This is my mixture. I will take this and I will pour it on here. I'm going to just take a large spoon to help this process. And so what I do is I just pour it on here and let it fill into the capsule holes. Now there's other devices out there. This is just, I had a small one, oh my heavens, that only made 20 at a time. This one makes 100. And today is really hot so far. I'll just make this 100 and I'll come back and make another batch. But usually supplements that I take 2 at a time, and my husband's taking, I'll make 200 to 300 at a time because it's just something we use. And like right now with the summer, it's important. My husband, you know, he works hard, so I want to make sure he has plenty. And I know when these capsules get down, he'll mention, Laura, the turmeric is getting down. Not to say you have to do this, because he will help me if I ask him. This is just so that, you know, I am reminded that, oh, I got to get that. Because I use this too. And since Lyme disease, or actually prior, but since Lyme disease, because I did a lot of research, well, if turmeric isn't helping me, what's wrong? And that's when we found out the pepper. And I think my Lyme doctor, Dr. D, he was the one that mentioned something to me about it. So I looked into it, and bada bing, we have a solution that is providing some very helpful resolution to my pain. Okay, now I know there's a lot on here and most people would scrape that off, but yeah, that's me. Okay, they have this, because I'm going to have to spread it more. From experience, I know. You take this little doohickey, I put it in there so you could see how it does, and then I put it right on top and I put it through. Now this little guy comes with a little handle and a tool to put it on, but for me to put it back in the box, okay, I'm not lazy, I just try to make life easy, okay? I can do it without the handle. My hands are clean, so I'm not feeling bad. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but it created some holes in there. So that means that the capsules are not yet full. So I do this depending on the supplement I'm making, and yes, I make all my supplements. I make my husband a vitamin C. I make his out of a vitamin C natural product, and mine I make out of rose hips. I use rose hip powder, and I have to buy that because I don't have the right rose hip flowers in my yard. Although when I made a trip up to Acadia with my husband a few years ago, that's where we had our honeymoon too. It's just, I saw rose hips and I'm like, oh, but you can't steal from, you know, parks or other people's properties. So I was just kind of like, I just admired them and was so grateful to see how God provides on that plant. Someday I'll have my own. And we are about almost done. I am going to do one more where I press this down just to make sure there is enough turmeric to make me happy. I try to make it really full because there's no sense in being conservative, because you're not going to get the benefits. The less you take in, the less benefits. Okay, one thing I forgot to bring over. Hold on a second, because I got to get it back into the jar. And I feel comfortable doing this because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you how I do this. Hold on. What doesn't go through, now this one doesn't fit exactly. So what I did was let's see if I can do this without disturbing that funnel. But because it has this opening here, what I do is I take all my powder whatever supplement I'm making. And I brush it over to that opening. And then I'll let you watch. Let's see if that funnel stays in place, okay? Now I'm shaking. I do get shakes from Lyme disease, but I think I'm nervous because I want it to get in there without it falling all over the place. Sometimes this is the worst part of the whole thing. Well, I put a lot on there anyway. I am grateful that I don't have to put a mixture together. Oh, there it goes. I didn't lose too much though. Yay! If my husband was here, he would help me, but he's not. Okay, now that that's done, and I'm happy I didn't lose, just a smidgen on the paper. These things here are some medical sheet type thingies. They're drapes, they call them. I use those because I have them, because of some things I've had to get. But when they're gone, they're gone. So I've got that. There is a little bit on the edges. So what I'll do is I'll very gently, without the funnel, I'll just push it into the jar. Like I said, if David was here, I would take advantage of his help. And now some people might not go to this extreme of getting every little ounce out, but we work hard for our money, and I don't like wasting anything if we can avoid wasting. Okay, so now I have these ready. And these capsule covers are ready. In order for me to make the capsules, okay, I'm done with this. Put it off to the side. Everything else I'm done with. So now I have this other device, and what I do is I put the one with the edge openings onto the top covers. And so it's in there. These are not going to come undone. If I put this on first, it wouldn't work. And no, I didn't try. It's just that this does not sit on this tray until you get the capsules in there, which is kind of interesting. All right, so what I do is I take this, I flip it over. See, nothing's going anywhere. That would have been kind of comical if it had. Okay, and then I just start pressing down. Now, be careful because you can crush it. And the reason I'm doing it a couple times here is because if you don't give it a nice even pressure, your capsules might not come through. They might open up. And see, that's what happens is you get your capsules out. And so what I do now, I get my handy dandy jar, which is recycled. My salad dressing comes in this. So I repurpose everything. All my vitamins that I make are in jars like this. And so what you can do is you can take these off. And I have a tendency to just, when I start putting them in the jar, I just make sure that they're nice and tight, because you might not have a nice pressure. And so far these are doing really well, which makes me happy. So there's about 100 capsules here. I'll try to go faster. Yeah, that one. See, these ones in the middle, I have to, whoops, I have to press, because the edge ones are not. I'm going to show you. See how there's a little bit there? When I press it, it kind of fills the capsule up, and I'm hoping that you can see that. I'll try another one, because if it goes, oops, I already did that. Okay, so see how there's a little opening there? I'll press it gently. Don't crush it, guys. And then it's better. And okay, you guys might not believe me, but even on the other end, there is no opening. So that's how I do it. I go right through, make sure they're all now. I'm going to continue that in a little bit, and I'm going to put this back. Ooh, I think I might have made you guys dizzy. My apology. So I want to share a few things about turmeric and the benefits, not only anti-inflammatory, but also some other things. So it can also, and I have my notes, sorry, I have to use notes on this, okay? It can boost the brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It can boost that, and that's the BDNF. If you ever hear that word and your doctor uses it, and most doctors try not to use acronyms with their patients, but if they do, that's what that means. And it's a process in which the neurons are capable of forming new connections. And the more you look this up, this is just fascinating. So please, take time to look up what BDNF is all about. It's a protein that plays a role in the memory and learning. Hang on, this is where it gets better. And it can help. I am not a doctor. I'm not licensed to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you from my research and from my experience, and I have been taking turmeric for over 10, 12 years, and I've seen positive results. Like, you don't have to take my word. I'm just telling you what I know and what has worked for us. So it plays, the BDNF protein plays an important role in our memory and our learning. And we're learning no matter how old we are. I'm 61 and I'm learning every single day. So it does help. Even with the brain fog that I get with Lyme disease, some of you get brain fog and your doctors have told you that's age, whatever the case may be. So it's connected, this protein is connected to brain function, where that protein is affecting depression and Alzheimer's. Now, when I say depression, I want to be very careful, because during the world upheaval that we've experienced, many of us still, even taking turmeric, have suffered with depression. I did. It was horrible. And I just had to make a decision that I'm not going to live in this world of fear and chaos. And I've stopped dealing with mean people. And that's mean people at clinics, mean people in the store, mean people even on social media. It's like block. I don't need that kind of stuff. And so once I did stop doing that, and I started looking at things that bring me joy, which is herbalism, which is gardening, which is sewing, which is doing all the homesteading things that I love. So I have found that that's a key factor. But bringing it back to the turmeric, it can aid in depression and Alzheimer's. Now, again, I have to have the disclaimer there that I am not a doctor. Does it help with Alzheimer's? I don't know. I do know that it has helped with Lyme disease. And some say that Lyme disease is connected with Alzheimer's. I do not like Lyme disease. It is a horrible disease. Alzheimer's is a horrible disease too. So whatever we can do to prevent and make ourselves better, the better off we are. So it can delay or reverse certain brain disorders, and Lyme disease does affect your brain. So will it hurt to take some turmeric with piperine? Try it for 6 weeks. Now, I'm not going to say try it for a day or two, and my postal guy who delivers, our mail, he was complaining he had to go in for a second knee surgery. And I said, he was going to therapy. He said, this isn't working. I said, have you tried turmeric? And he goes, no, what's that? And he goes, well, I'll have to check. When I told him, he goes, I'll have to check with my physical therapist. And I said, they may or may not support it, but I'm just telling you this will work. And he stopped taking it, and so I asked him how he was doing. He says, well, I didn't really take it. And I said, well, you can't get the benefit if you don't take it. So you got to make a decision. And I said, you need to take the pain you're in. This is just my recommendation. Take 2 a day, twice a day. And because when I forget a week, I will be in more agony than not. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have horrible pain, because I do have horrible pain. But if we have to do that 1 to 10 scale, it's no longer a 12. It comes down to between 6 and 8. And sometimes I have no pain. So there's a lot of factors that go into our pain. And some of it is exercise, nutrition, and what other supplements we can put in. Okay, I'm getting long-winded. All right, so it can help with depression, Alzheimer's. Now I'm going to put may help, because this is the other disclaimer. It may help with cancer healing and prevention. There have been studies, and they're using it in some cancer treatments. Please do your research and look this up. Will it resolve cancer? I don't think so. Babies are born with cancer. Little children are dealing with cancer. So there's a whole spectrum of what cancer is. And, I wish I understood cancer. I don't have the scientific degree, but I do have the passion to see this disease gone. And I could go on to, why are so many people with cancer? I don't know. All I know is that we have a choice in how we live our lives. So, that being said, this may help with cancer. It may also, lower your risk of heart disease. So it may reverse various brain disorders. Back to the cancer. There's studies that have shown it to contribute to killing cancer cells and reduce the metastasis. And that's when the cancer grows and goes into the other organs. So I think some of the treatments out there, I don't know, I don't have personal experience. So it is something to talk to your physician specialists about if this is a concern, and see what they say. Now, let's see. Arthritis. Arthritis is an inflammatory response. So will it help? Trust me, it helps a lot. It helps my husband. He has arthritis. And I know I have arthritis issues, but it's like, what am I going to do? And I have arthritis in my back, and I've got other things with my back. But I'm doing everything possible to reduce that pain. And even a physician I recently saw, he says, I remember you when you were dealing with that pain, and that was horrible. But I'm getting up off the table so much easier than I was then. I'm getting in and out of chairs better for the most part. I have my days. So, and this is one that might inspire those of us that are in our, I'm going to call us midlifers. It may delay your aging and may fight age-related chronic diseases. I think it's not just our taking a supplement or taking an herb. It's all about how we take care of ourselves. And, I started to say something. I do end up getting distracted. When you try this supplement to see if it's going to work for you, don't take it for a week or 2. Take it for at least 6 weeks. Now, you don't have to make it. There are brands out on the market that provide this. Can I make them for you? Absolutely, but it won't come free. So, and you have to understand that I am not a doctor. I am not a pharmaceutical person. Emotionally, as well as I just don't do that. So this is not something I will put up on Etsy, because that's not my thing. But if you were willing to donate so that you could sample some, yeah, I could do that for you, but I cannot sell these. So, but I won't be giving them away, just so that you could have a supply. So you need to look into what options are out there. I do not put additives, as you saw. I don't put additives in my supplements. I take the herb. Now, one thing that you can do, you don't want to make supplements, but do you make smoothies? Do you do stir fries? Do you do any of that stuff? What I would do if you don't want to take supplements, like at night, I tend to make a lot of stir fries. If it was just for me and not my husband, I would go right from the jar instead of the capsules, and I would just put a scoop in of that, because I like what I make in terms of using the turmeric. So you could use that as a spice. You could put it into your smoothie. When I've made smoothies, I have not tasted it. So I will definitely take 2 capsules a day. But if I make a smoothie like at, well, it's not 11 o'clock. I can't believe how early I'm doing. Sometimes I get so distracted because I get out into the garden and I forgot my first strawberry out there. So, but I did see one of them where a little critter came along and took a bite out of one. It wasn't even red, crazy little critter. So the fight is on as to who can get the most strawberries. But anyways, back to this. It's really up to you how you take care of your body. Use the supplements the way you choose. If you do not want to make capsules, because it is time consuming, it's a pain in the neck, then put some in your smoothie. Put some in your protein shake. Put some, add it that way. I'll be honest, taking all the capsules I take, and I take them and I make tinctures. This is all because Lyme disease hurts, and Lyme disease has symptoms that I struggle with. And I wish we could say, and even my doctor wishes we could say it was all cleared. It's not, but I have made efforts because I desire to live out in the garden, in life in general, and not be on my couch. So health is about you making choices, you taking steps to be the better you. I hope that this was informative. I really enjoy making my own capsules. I don't like the time. I don't like how my back hurts if I make all of them all at once, so I make 1 or 2 at a time. And I've learned to stand at the counter. As long as my hips aren't bothering me, this works better for me. But I don't sit down anymore at the kitchen table because it just hurts. Because when you sit, if you haven't noticed, you end up arching because you're over. And I've got low back pain. I've got spinal issues in my lower back, and I've got them in my neck. So I have to think positive about my posture. And so working at the counter makes it easier. And it's less boring if you do 1 or 2 supplements at a time. But this is a supplement I really strongly recommend for you to consider making or purchasing over the counter. And there are some good brands out there. I will not promote any brand at this time. When I do, I can put it into the notes below. But right now, I don't want to. All I want you to do is be very much aware of the word proprietary. You can ask them. I've done that on some things, and they won't tell you. The only way that they will tell you something is if you ask them, does it have this in it because I have an allergy? That's how I've gotten the answers, because there was something I was going to buy, but I couldn't have any polypropylene glycol. My body does not respond well to it. And so they wouldn't answer me. So finally I said, I can't buy your product because this is what I need to know. And I knew it was a product that would have it, potentially have it in it. And they wrote back and they said, yeah, that does have it in it. I will not tell you what company or what product, because I think we need to all be responsible in our choices and how we consume. And so this is my way of saying, look at your labels. Look at your food products even to find out what's in it, because some products will be one way and then they'll change it. And one of the headache remedies, an herbal remedy, and I think I've shared this once, that it had all the herbs that, perfect, my husband can take this because he gets migraines worse than I do. And yet I looked into it a little bit further because I was ready to buy it, and then it came back and they changed the formula. It happens all the time. Products that you think are milk-free, it changes all the time. So be aware, do your best, and I truly, truly, like I've said, I hope this was helpful and beneficial. Please subscribe, like, and if this was something that was helpful for you, please comment. It helps build my YouTube channel. And if you know somebody who's dealing with pain and stuff, make sure you share this with them, because this is a message that I have been trying to get to other people. It's a huge help for me. And you do taste the pepper in it, even taking the capsule, but hey, this works great for me. And once I make my new batch, I will try to make good measurements, okay? And then I will put the recipe below in the other stuff that I write. So have a great day. It's a beautiful sunny day here in New Hampshire. And so I know that I'm going to make it outside. And the little chicks are dying to go out there. They did not want to come in yesterday. And it took me 2 hours to get these little monsters in. They're not monsters. They're the most adorable little addition to our family. But that's life. So I want to get out there into the gardens, and I want to get some other things taken care of. So I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope this was informative. And may God bless you, and be well.